So let's meet Joe Kuebler inside his Venetian this morning. Joe, thanks for being with us.
Hey, great to be with you, Steve.
All right, so I kind of want to set this up because you and I go back 5 years. Do you remember where we first met?
Yeah, sure do. Sharon and I were walking over to the expo, to the exhibits, and ran across you and Tom, just walking through the parking lot and just happened to bump into one another.
And the fun thing was this was both our very first rally.
Wow, I didn't realize that was your first.
That was my first rally, yeah, because I had just started. So I'm going up in our five-year anniversary here, and your 5-year anniversary and the Diesel Club. So let's talk about your love of traveling and how you got involved in joining the Diesel Club and what it has meant for you in your travels.
Yeah, and that's a good way to start. I mean, the Diesel Club, just like any organization out there, I mean, it gives you a chance to meet people, to socialize, discuss, your rig, what you've got, and to meet a lot of good people. And that was probably the biggest thing. Plus, by going to rallies at different locations, you kind of get the feel for the geography of that location, whether it be in, Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, Columbus, Indiana, Goshen, wherever you go, you're always with some good people.
So when you were getting ready, I mean, was a travel club something you had always thought about doing, or it was one of you and Sharon sat down and said, you know what, let's give this a whirl?
Well, that was really it. I mean, it's nothing that, really jumped out. I mean, I remember the president of the club at the time, Jack Arnold, contacted me because I just bought the new Thor. And he says, hey, why don't you come? We're having a dinner in your neighborhood. Why don't you come to our dinner? It was after the Tampa Super Show. And that's really our first contact. I mean, we'd been RVing for years. I mean, we started RVing back before the kids were very big back in, well, I'm going to date myself here a little bit, 79, 80, with just a travel trailer and then a Mini. And then when retirement finally came around, we said, maybe we need to get back to this.
How has the last year changed some of the gatherings?
Well, I mean, as far as changing the gatherings, obviously we had to cancel the Goshen Rally, which is the big one. But then we were down in the Outer Banks with no issues, and we were at the Tampa show with no issues.
So what advice would you have for first timers on, joining a travel club? What are some of the perks and benefits in how can they go about possibly finding something that fits them? Because you had to go through all of that yourself.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, mainly it's the manufacturers. Whatever organization you belong to, it's the manufacturers and FMCA. If you look in the back of it, you should join FMCA. Let's put it that way. And you look in their magazine as to the chapters that are available, and it's just amazing. Every area in the country has a different chapter for different things, and it's just a great way to meet people.
And where have been some of your favorite places that you have traveled?
Well, one of the most favorite places we did was Gettysburg. Gettysburg is great. And, you got to give yourself enough time, get up there. The Natchez Trace is a wonderful thing. Many people haven't heard about that, but that's a national park that stretches from Natchez, Mississippi to Franklin, Tennessee. It's 444 miles long, and it takes about 5 days to run it and see everything. And that's an excellent trip as well. Well, this year we're getting ready to head up to Savannah. We've got a spring rally up in Savannah, and then we're going to be going up to central Wisconsin via Kentucky, go see the Ark and things like that. And then, of course, we plan to go to the rally in Goshen this year.
Can you give away any rally secrets for what they have planned, or do we have to wait until October to find out?
No, I mean, we're contacting vendors, getting vendors involved. Our signups have been brisk to this point in the year. Vendors are going to be traveling more this year. They didn't want to travel much last year, and I can personally understand that because there's, when everything gets canceled, some of these people come a great distance, and there's just no point in traveling. But this year seems to be a better fit for people coming to the rally, especially the vendors. That'll give us some seminars to go along with it. One thing people need to do, especially if you're first timers and just getting into this, is pre-plan your trips. Make sure you've got a scheduled place that you're going to stop each evening. I mean, we're not full-time. We're I don't know, call them weekend warriors or part-time, whatever you care to call it. So, but we plan every trip quite carefully to know that we have a reservation waiting for us at the end of the day. And you can set your parameters for what your day is. How many hours would you like to travel? How many miles would you like to go? You can set all of that up and plan accordingly. The biggest mistake people make, I think, is, well, I'll find a place when I get there. Well, sometimes that doesn't work. With so many RVs of many kinds on the road today, you can be sitting in a parking lot somewhere.
I've been talking to all kinds of people through all kinds of walks of life and different age groups in doing this. And maybe this is something you can speak to as you started traveling, many, many years ago, and you took your kids with you. And so has your love of travel or their love of travel, has that stayed with them as they grow up? Do they get out there or as well now too, or come visit you when you're out there, or is it you all go visit them?
Well, a little bit of both. One of the nice things about this rig is, we got plenty of sleeping capacity, and our kids love to come with us and meet us. And, we try and get out at least once a month, go somewhere, even if it's just somewhere in the local area. Being here in Central Florida, we're really blessed to have a number of locations we can get to within, 100 miles and spend a weekend. So that makes a big difference. And when the kids want to come join us, or if we meet a friend there or whatever, it's just makes for a great weekend experience.
It's one of the neat things that I hear when I was talking to a lot of the folks in the Diesel Club is you make these new friendships, and you could be on opposite coasts, but you find time, well, we're going to head here. Well, you know what? We'll head there too. And you guys end up meeting up and kind of almost creating your own rallies.
And that's a great fact. We've become very close with people in the Diesel Club. Matter of fact, we Zoom every couple of weeks with two other members of the Diesel Club, one in Austin, Texas, and one in Southern Indiana. And every time we get the opportunity to cross paths, besides the rallies, we definitely do.
Yeah, the friendships you make, the adventures you have on the road, so many good times are out there, and joining a travel club for folks is I think it's got the Joe Kuebler highly recommended thumbs up seal of approval on that.
Yeah, you have to have that, Steve. No doubt about it.
Well, hopefully we will catch up again and see you actually live in person at the big rally this fall. I'm looking forward to it, and I always enjoy talking to everybody out there, and especially going back, always seeing you just because of that first rally connection that we have.
Yeah, and that's a wonderful thing, Steve.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll see you this fall, Joe. I appreciate you taking your time out today.
All right, Steve. Have a great day.